Welcome back, everybody. And yes, today is Monday, so we will be having Pesa Sports. And today we are talking about financial management. And the question we had to ask is, if you were given 1,000,000 shillings right now, today, Sai, what would you do with it?
Hi Chatspot, I'm Paul. I'm here in Nairobi. Yeah, if I get 1 million right now, I'll simply invest. Because when I say tuseme nitumie hiyo pesa kununua gari au kujenga nyumba, itaisha tu. So 1 million, I invest so that I can get more and more money.
Hi Chatspot, my name is Wycliffe. Perhaps I get 1 million. Obvious, my parents have been very industrious to me. I'll first build a good house for them, just to appreciate them. Secondly, because I'm still young, I will invest at least to get something to sponsor my education.
Hello Chatspot, my name is Evelyn, and if nikishinda 1 million today, 1 million si pesa nyingi. So first things first, 1 million, I'll take the 10% as a tithe, and then the rest of it nike kwa biashara.
Hi Chatspot, my name is Zachary Obure. I'm a student at TUK Civil Engineer. If I had got 1 million today, I will invest in plantation farming. There's a lot of returns there, even though you have to wait for a long time. Also, youths have not invested in plantation farming.
Hi Chatspot, my name is Judith Kalewa. If I had 1 million today, I'd begin my own business.
Yes, and in virtual studio with us today, we have financial coach David Cairo. Welcome, David.
Thank you very much.
We can't hear you, David. Just check you're not on mute.
I'm not muted. I'm saying hello, good evening, and thank you for having me here. Can you hear me now?
Okay, maybe we can let them sort that as we continue having this discussion. And someone told me one day that money speaks one language. So if you save me today, I save you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So wewe unaweza fanya nini na 5 million? Unajua 5 million si ati ni pesa mingi.
Si 5 million, 1 million. It's so weird we're having this conversation right now. We're saying 1 million right now where we are in our adult lives. It's not as much as we thought when we were in campus or young adults. So me honestly ningefungua tu biashara kaa 2, 3 na imeisha hivyo tu. Because all of them will take a lot of you have to market the business, you have to build the place where you're going to be having the business. I'll probably have 2 businesses and then save the rest for maybe investing. I hear these treasury bonds are a good way to invest, but I definitely take a risk. Mi si mtu wa kuweka pesa yote mali moja
for real
of late, because my mother is such a risk taker, man. She's like, she'd rather lose that 1 million the next time make 2 million. So I'm trying to learn how to, because mi nakwanga mtu wa kusave.
Hata mimi nilikuwa mse wa kusave until last year. Last year towards the end, I'm like, okay, let me just commit myself into a plan that maybe monthly I can be tracking every month some money, so that I buy a piece of land for my kids, like that's beside what King is doing. It's just me. This is a gift to my kids. Uwezi jua pale mbele, but you would say, what would you do?
Unajua mimi kuna lugha fulani pesa unizungumzia. And one thing about money, nikaa kupata tu message ya M-Pesa. Unaona tu confirm data kaa uko kwa meeting. Unaanza and we were saying
uko na sauti.
Uko na kakari.
Uko na confidence.
Honestly, apart from mimi ningelipa tithe kwanza, hiyo ni ukweli. Ningelipa tithe kwanza, but nikishalipa tithe hapo ndio penye shida uanza. Vile natumia hiyo pesa nyingine, I think I'll just need Cairo aniongeleshe tu kando
aniambie. And maybe we need to talk to him. Hata yuko hapa. David Cairo, hi.
Hi guys, I'm good.
Thank God. Now we can hear you. So you heard what the youth have to say out there about how they spend 1 million. Are they on the right track or not?
I heard what they said, and I also heard what you guys in studio say.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. There's a lot there. Well, I'll say a good percentage. I must say we're on the right path. I like when I hear, someone saying we'll invest. The issue of putting it in business, I also like that. However, of course, I'll have to maybe give my own personal opinion and what I would consider a professional opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, any amount of money you receive that you had not planned for, we call that a windfall. So a windfall is money you receive that you hadn't planned for. Now, the challenge with a windfall is that so the temptation is, and I don't know whether you guys know that, money talks to you. Money tells you what to do. Umesikia tu sahi vile umesema ukipata do unapata voice. So pesa inakushow, inakuambia kile utadu. So
goodbye. You know,
what I would encourage us to appreciate, number one, is what I would appreciate all of us to do is, the first thing is try and, despite how difficult it might be, sit down and get a note, a paper and a pen, and do what we call a budget. Now, it's not an academic activity. It's to plan for that spending. Okay, because ultimately you need to spend. So I didn't hear any one of you, including all of you guys in studio, talk about a budget. So that's my point of digression for a start. But let's continue.
So a budget, how does one work around it? Because you're saying it's not academic. How does one start a budget?
Yeah.
Yes. Good. So in your budget, you need to look at one. You need to have 4 areas or 4 things you budget for. Or rather 3 things you need to budget for. One is your investment. And I would say you need to give a larger percentage to your investment, minimum 50%. Now, the challenge we have is we can get money and before you know, you go and invest in something you have no clue in. For example, I'm glad to hear Zachary hapa akisema story ya farming. And I would expect Zachary has knowledge about farming. But I hope he's not talking of farming without knowing what that entails. So even though we are talking about you budgeting like 50% of your investment of your 50% of your earning to an investment, do your research, spend time enough to do your research, to understand that investment. Then the second thing is you need to save another, not less than 10% of that earning, not less than. Ndio sasa ile mebaki si ni 40%. Sasa hiyo unaweza spend. Lakini minimum ni 50% for investment na 10% for saving, minimum.
Okay. Yeah.
Minimum. And after that, now you can spend the 40%.
Okay. Someone said that when you create a basic budget and you stick to it, it looks like you have more money coming in. Do you agree with that statement?
When you stick to it and your investments are bringing you returns, the answer is yes. But otherwise it will be a facade. But the answer should be the position. Now remember, even when we think of investments, kuna zile nasema ni short term ni kusema kama 1 year and below. Then we have between 1 year, which is 12 months, and 24 months or 36 months, about 3 years, that's middle term. And then anything above 36 months could be considered long term. Now, that's not for everyone, but I'm just giving an example. So, hata kama ni story ya kusema unafanya investments, jiulize. Sababu unaweza invest kitu ya long term, alafu kesho ukose hata fare. Hata ukose hata do ya rent ama chakula. So, even though you're investing, invest in different, segments so that you don't again enter into a situation where you're not liquid and then you start suffering and saying, here I have assets and I can't convert them into cash.
5,000, you will not be able to manage 5 million.
Yeah.
So how can you advise people to start managing the little that they have? They don't be those people who, when you get paid, by the end of the month, you're just waiting to get paid. Yeah. How do they manage it?
Good. So the first thing you do before you spend, pay yourself. Paying yourself is the money you do for 2 things. One is for investment. I said about at least for the money you're not expecting, minimum 50%. But for a regular income, kama ni salo ama pocket money, at least 30-40%. Utume hiyo do kwa investment, hiyo ndio kujilipa, na kujilipa ingine ni usave. Hii saving, for every earning, even all us guys here in studio, for every earning, make sure 10% goes to a saving, minimum. And make that a habit. Na mimi usema hivi, hata kama unaweza kuwa na mshahara every week ama every month, alafu hapo in between mtu akurushi vile umesema upate ka M-Pesa, of every earning, make sure an amount goes to your saving, for investments and for savings.
Right.
Na Cairo,
allow me to give a caveat there.
Yeah.
Yes, lakini kabla uniulize, wacha nipatiane caveat. Just know you will never be rich by saving. You don't get rich by saving. You get rich by investing. So you can be a very good saver, because what happens is that people who save alafu peleke do bank, what happens, wale wase wana invest, wanaenda bank wanakopa hizo do zako, wao wana invest, wana make do alafu wanalipa. So though you are saving, save to invest, not for the sake of saving. Please go ahead.
Na sasa kwa hiyo story ya budget, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know about this. Kuna hii story ya, kuna hii rende ya 2K urgently. Alafu pia kuna ile ya nimeshikwa bro, mask, tao, nitumie tao, nitakupea next week. So when you are coming up with a budget, how far should you spend kwa hizi nitty-gritties? Ama hizo ndio miscellaneous?
Hiyo sasa ni miscellaneous, lakini for some people hiyo si miscellaneous. Kuna wase wengi, I'll give an example. The other day I had a forum, and these are guys who have worked for many years. I remember this particular individual has worked for over 20 years in this organization. Yeye ndio chairman welfare ya job, yeye ndio chairman in the mzee wa mtaa, yeye ndio chairman kila mahali. As we were in that forum, alitumiwa request tatu, aliingishwa WhatsApp tatu za story ya, kuchanga. And we were having this conversation. So he told me now he realized he's actually been spending so much money in that process without budgeting for it. So I told him there's no problem with giving. We are social beings, we have to give. But have you budgeted for it? For me, I would say yes. Weka hiyo story kwa story ya miscellaneous, alafu ukwe uko sawa. That way, uwezi lipa wasi wengine kabla ujilipe. Because ukipatiana leo alafu ukose kesho utafanya nini? Si bado utakuwa na look up. Na ujue maisha ni nini? If they look up to you alafu usiprovide, si wataenda kwa mwingine na maisha iendelee. So lazima tujipange.
So much, David. Sadly, our time is up, but thank you for the insights. We'll see you again on Monday. We can't wait for that, because there's a lot of hunger for mentorship, especially when it comes to the youth. I hope you learned something, but we're going to take a very short commercial break. 111 444 111 is the SMS line. We'll be right back.
Thank you.